Hi guys, today I want to ask you a question. Do you scared of worms? Xin các bạn, hôm nay thì mình muốn hỏi các bạn một câu hỏi rằng là các bạn có sợ sâu hoặc giun không nhỉ? I'm a little bit scared of worms. Mình thì hơi sợ chúng. And I'm scared of them when they crawl my body. It's really creepy. Và mình sợ chúng khi mà chúng bò lên người mình, rất là đáng sợ luôn. And I'm not scared of them when they on the ground. Và mình không hề sợ chúng khi mà những con sâu đấy hoặc giun đấy ở dưới đất. So, you know what? Worms can be really helpful for your plant. It will make the soil more better. Và các bạn biết không, những con giun này thì rất là hữu ích cho cây của bạn luôn. Nó làm cho đất tơi xốp hơn. Yes, it's very better. So, you don't have to worry about worms. Và bạn không cần phải lo lắng về những con sâu và giun nữa. Yes. So, today I will read you a story about a girl named Maddie who was very scared of worms and nothing terrifies her more than worms. Hôm nay thì mình sẽ đọc cho các bạn một câu chuyện rằng là về một cô gái tên là Maddie và cô ấy rất là sợ những con giun luôn, không có thứ gì sợ bằng giun cả. And câu chuyện này là one day her mother decided to raise the worms in the garage. Và một ngày nọ thì là mẹ của Maddie quyết định rằng sẽ nuôi giun ở trong nhà để xem, to make the soil more better, và để làm cho đất tơi xốp hơn. Yeah, tơi xốp hơn. And do you know how many worms she raised? Các bạn biết là có bao nhiêu con giun cô ấy nuôi không nhỉ? Can you guess? 1,500 of these worms. 1.500 con giun luôn. Wow, so many. And Maddie is really scared and she said she almost died. Maddie rất là sợ luôn và cô ấy trong câu chuyện này cô đã nói rằng là cô ấy gần xỉu luôn ạ. Yeah. And in the end she's not scared of it anymore. Và đến đoạn cuối thì cô ấy không hề sợ về những con giun nữa. Các bạn biết tại sao không? Do you know why? Because one day the worms escaped from their bin. So she had to carry all the worms back in the bin. Và một ngày nọ thì những con giun đã thoát khỏi cái chuồng của nó. Vì vậy là Maddie phải lấy từng con giun một để cho vào cái thùng. And in that time on, she never scared of worms. Và từ ngày hôm đó là Maddie đã không bao giờ sợ nữa. So, let's hear the story. Các bạn hãy cùng nghe câu chuyện nhé. Yeah. And you have to practice reading every day. Yeah. Các bạn hãy luyện tập đọc hàng ngày. And to practice your reading. Okay, let's get started. The day the worms moved in. Worms. You're going to raise worms in the garage. Yes, Maddie. Mom nodded and asked me to pass the Parmesan cheese. Cool, says my 6-year-old brother, Avery, his face smeared with spaghetti sauce. Cool is not the word I would use. Some people have a fear or flying or freak out the sight of blood. With me, seeing even a single worm makes me, well, imagine being in the path of an oncoming train. That's the feeling I get when I see a worm. Total panic. I blame Billy Peppercorn. In kindergarten, he told me to hold out my hand and close my eyes. I knew Billy liked me, so I did as he said, expecting something truly wonderful. Into my hands, he plopped his prized possession, a 9-inch night crawler named Buddy that he had been keeping for months in a dirt-filled jar. I screamed and threw Buddy high in the air. Where he landed, nobody knows, though Billy spent an hour crying and looking for him. In the end, Billy decided to find someone else to like, and I ended up with a server worm phobia. Which is a shame because Billy Peppercorn is now my 5th grade class and he turned out really cute. The worm phobia is a secret. You know how kids and brothers are. Once they found out your weakness, you're done for, so I'm not about to mention it now. I look over at Dad, hoping he'll do something, but he just calmly takes a bite of garlic bread. I'm going to use the worms in the composting bin, Mom says. They'll eat leftovers, leave casting, and create lovely garden soil for me. What are castings? Asked Avery. Worm poop, Mom answered. I can't believe my mom is talking about worm poop at the dinner table. Will there be enough room in the garage for my car? My brother Carter asks. Carter is 16, and his car is rusted and dented, but his prized possession, sort of like Buddy was to Billy Peppercorn. The bin won't take up much space. Your car will be fine, Mom says. I stare at my spaghetti noodles, pink with tomato sauce. They look like worms. I feel sick. The worms arrived 3 days ago. All 1,500 of them. Who knew you could order earthworms online and have them delivered right to your door? When Mom opened the box, she had a reveal, cooed to them, and called them beauties. Beauties? My heart jumped out my chest and fled the room. I quickly followed. For several days, the worm-filled box stayed in the living room while Mom prepared their new home. I almost died. But Mom explained that she couldn't just dump them in a composting bin. First, she had to make bedding for them by combining newspaper, soil, manure, and peat moss. Then she had to wait a few days to make sure the bacteria in the mixture didn't heat things up too much. Temperature above 85 degrees can kill worms. We don't have a dog or a cat, but by the way, Mom's been fussing and worrying over the worms. You'd think they were our pets. Weird. Right now, she's all excited and flitting around the breakfast table because we've been using the composting bin for the first time. The entire family marches out to the garage. The composting bin consists of a wooden frame with a hanging mesh lid. There are tiny holes drilled in the bottom and side for drainage and air. The bin sits atop 2 sore horses. Mom lifts the lid. Bon appetit, she said, as if the worms can hear and understand her. Everyone clustered around the bin, tipping cereal bowls so the leftovers spill out. I turned my head away, knowing if I could even a glimpse of pink in the dirt. Once the lid is safely closed, I noticed a couple of bales of straw against the garage wall. What's with that? I pointed my spoon. It's for the winter, my mom said. Eventually, I'm going to use the straw to protect the worms from the cold. My worms sure are delicate, I think. Can't be too hot, can't be too cold. My mind turned to trickery. A heating pad shoved into the worm bedding, or ice cube. Ice cubes would be better, I decide. The ingredients would melt and I'll be in the clear, except for one problem. There's no way I'd be able to stick my hand in that bin to shove anything down. Dripping food from a foot above is bad enough. You think that after 2 months I get to use the idea of worms in the garage, but I'm still creeped out. Most of the time I manage to finish every sliver of food on my plate, just so I can avoid being in the presence of that bin. The worms are always on my mind anyway though. My bedroom is above the garage, and sometimes I lie awake in the middle of the night worried that the floor will collapse and I fall into oodles of worms. Or out of blue, I feel slimy and gross for no reason at all. Sharing my home with those things is a living nightmare. It's a Saturday morning and Mom is out of town visiting my aunt. Dad woke up early to take Avery to an indoor soccer tournament. Carter is still sleeping and I'm eating breakfast. I look out the kitchen window and see a light dusting of first snow. 2 days ago, it was the 60s. Midwest weather, go figure. I have a few tidbits of toast and I'm unable to finish. I'd consider putting what left down to the garbage disposal. but thinking about what mom makes me feel guilty. So I go ahead and brave the garage. If I don't actually see the worms, I can handle it, sort of. I open the door and it takes a moment to fully comprehend what is before me. Hundreds of worms writhing around under the composting bin and across the floor. I scream at the top of my lungs, hoping Carter will come to rescue me. I continue screaming until I realize Carter isn't coming. I also realize some of the worms are no longer wiggling. They're dead. I watch hopelessly as worms drop from the holes at the bottom of the bin onto the floor below. Maybe I should close the door and not tell anyone. Maybe the worms will all die, but what if most of them don't? What if they find their way inside to wherever I am? Like in some kind of horror movies, I tear upstairs to Carter's room and shake him. The worm escaped. What? He said, yawning. There are worms all over the garage floor. What are we going to do? How am I supposed to know? Call Mom on her cell phone. Carter covered his head with his blanket. I'm tumbled downstairs and call Mom. The worms, they're dropping onto the floor. I yelled into the cell phone. My mom sounds upset. She explained that when it turns cold, worms burrow into the ground to find warmth. Since these guys weren't in the ground, they buried themselves right out of the drainage holes in the bottom of the bin. She didn't think it would get that cold overnight. You have to act fast, she said. Round off the worms that are still alive and put them back in the bin. Take off the bin off the sore horses and move it closer to the ground. Prop it up on a few bricks. There are some near that workbench. Once straw is placed on top of the bin and around it, the worm should be better protected from the cold. Hurry! I scramble back out to the garage, flip open the lid to the bin, and take a deep breath. Kneeling down, I began pushing the worms into piles and created about 15 between my hands and carried them back to their home. I'm trying not to think about how cold and disgusting they feel. I avoid looking down. Fearful, I toss them into the air in a fit of fright and carry pile after pile to the bin. When the floor is finally clear, I scurry upstairs to wake Carter. Mom said, "We have to move the bin now." He stumbled sleepily down the stairs after me. Carter and I moved the bin to the ground, shaking straw around it. I ran through a few more worms, take a deep breath, and study the floor. Estimate death toll. About 30 worms, not enough to put a kink in Mom's composting plants. We should make her happy. I go into the house and scrub my hands using hot water and plenty of soap. I feel good about saving the worms. Billy Peppercorn would be proud of me, I'm sure. Actually, I'm pretty proud of myself. I faced my fear and I survived. Yes. So that is the end of the story. Và câu chuyện đã kết thúc rồi. So, do you like this story? Các bạn có thích câu chuyện này không? I hope you like this story. And thank you for watching. Goodbye.